front to back when we first landed. So we had to construct a retaining wall. Instead of going for a traditional reinforced concrete wall, we went for a soil engineered solution, which is utilising the fill that we dug out of our basement, mixed with new fill in terms of a stone material, a quarried material, geogrids and geomembranes to form an embankment wall that is very ecologically friendly, because when it's finished, as you see there, it gets sprayed with grass seed and turned into a very large grass bank. It provides a natural habitat for wildlife as well. It doesn't have anything that you may see around the area, like big concrete walls that are very kind of ugly looking. It gives you a very clean grass look by the time we're finished. This is our basement construction then. This is the big dig. The basement's formed out of contig piles, which are piles, augured piles constructed at quite close centres. We then dig the hole out between those piles, assisted by the big yellow things that you see there, the big large props. They held the basement apart until we got to a certain stage. Those props were about 50 metres long, 1200 millimetres in diameter, and weighed about 30 tonne a piece. So there were fair old chunks of kit to actually hold the basement apart that wanted to fall inwards effectively until the structure was constructed beyond a certain level. The next slide then will be for the main building. As you can see in the centre, that's our lift core that we climbing formed the lift core originally to start off with, which is a shutter system that actually kind of jacks itself up the building. We put the lift core in first because that's the most awkward bit for us. That gets the awkward bit out of the way, and that allows us then to construct the floor slabs coming off from that level. We constructed the floor slabs using a system called tables or flying forms. So they're a formwork system that are constructed on the first level. Once the concrete slab is cast and cured to a level above those tables, they're actually lowered down by about 150 mil, and a large silver hook that you may have seen on the photos then, utilising the tower crane, comes in, picks those tables up, slides them out of the building, lifts them up to the next floor, places them in position, and we start the whole process again. We were when we were in full swing of casting floors, we were actually casting the floor of the building every 3 weeks. So that was from setting the shutters up, putting the reinforcement in, setting any edge shutters, casting the concrete, allowing it to cure to a stage that we could strip the shutters out, back propping, and then moving the shutters up to the floors above, so we could just keep moving and moving and moving as we go through the building. Up to the present day, or nearly the present day, where you can see the building encased in cladding. If we just go backwards, I'll show you those slides again. You'll see the large silver C-shaped hook that comes in to pick the tables up. What you will see as well is when the concrete frame has been constructed, we started constructing the external walls, which we used a structural framing system, which is a metal framing system. We try not to put too much masonry into the building, or too many wet trays, too many wet products. The more water we put into the building, the more water we've got to dry out, and the more chance that the building will shrink when we get cracking when the building shrinks. As the building dries out, so we try to do as many dry systems as possible. So you can see there the silver framework on the outside of the building, and then the composite cladding panels, the metal panels that gets fixed to that, with the windows that are included within those composite panels as well. These are some slides from the main entrance where you drove in today. So the concrete frame being installed. The only precast concrete items that we had on the site were our stairs. We actually constructed the stairs off-site and brought those in and placed them with the crane once the in situ concrete frame had been completed. To construct the building, we went with a scaffoldless solution. So the envelope of the building, the outside frame of the building, we didn't scaffold the outside of the building. We used systems where we worked from the inside of the building to allow us to construct part of it, and then we used mobile elevated work platforms, which one you can see over there, the yellow scissor lift, and this what's just coming in here is what's called an articulated boom or a cherry picker, which are two forms of hydraulic platforms that allow us to construct the building from the outside without needing scaffold. So a few more just snapshots of what the building is and where we are at the moment. That's the west elevation, the elevation that looks out towards the road, which is our curtain walling elevation. That's now progressed with steel arms sticking out ready to take up our breeze lay system, which are our blades that sit on the front of the building. South elevation again is progressed further than that now. There's a large glazed canopy on the front. And then we get to the stage of where we are internally, which are our finished rooms, which when we take you around, we'll take you up to see where we're different stages of where we're finished rooms, where we're dry lined, and then where we're just below that, where we're doing all the M&E works at the moment. How we're doing it, although we are a construction company, we also try to do things that either improve our impact on the local community or reduce our impact on our negative impact on the local community. So there are a few slides that I'll just quickly go through. This is a project that we did free of charge for a local housing estate, which is not far from here. We actually carried out about £20,000 worth of work for free to construct a new car park for them. The project is triple award-winning project at the moment. We've won awards for regeneration of the area, because the area is quite undeveloped and underprivileged compared to other parts of the country. So this project is the catalyst, it is the kind of the start of regenerating the whole area. Which again is Lift Award is an award that we won from across the UK to, again, for the best regeneration project in lift schemes. We constructed part of the building with apprentices. Apprentices are, you may or may not, are kind of people who are just coming into the industry. Mainly the apprentices we use here are bricklayers and carpenters. Try and give them a chance to learn the trade, to get out on site. And we actually constructed the whole section of the building purely using apprentices, which as we walk around we'll show you where they are. We have a health and safety reward scheme on the project. We have a penalty scheme, so if people break the rules, they get 3 points. If they break the rules again, they get another 3 points. If they break a more serious rule, they get 6 points. If they get to 9 points, that means they're removed from the project. I don't want people on the project that are causing health and safety risks to themselves or to anyone else, so they get removed and won't be working back on this project. On the other side of that, we have a scheme as well every month where we give a £75 reward to someone who's positively promoting health and safety, which hopefully raises the level of health and safety on the project. We also do a scheme where we take local people who have been unemployed for more than 12 months to try and give them a chance to get back into work, where we give them a work experience, but then try to get those employed with our people on site, our subcontractors on site. And to date we've actually gave 15 people chances of work on site, and out of those 8 people have got full-time employment with them. We had a visit from a Chinese delegation to visit the site to look how we regenerate areas. These are some slides of things that we've done differently here that may not be done elsewhere. That was a system to reduce cold bridging in the building. So where you've got cold spaces below warm spaces, there's a problem normally where you get cold going through a construction slab, a concrete slab, into the internal walls of the building that either provide a passage for heat loss out of the building or a passage for cold into the building. And that was a system of a block that we used at the base of our walls, which actually breaks that cold bridge, so it actually gives us a better performing building. There's a couple of things we do as well where we actually did some temporary white lining to provide turning circles and access around the project to try and make us a more safer site. again, trying to be as sustainable as possible. We use a lot of recycled materials on the project, so